You're watching News 9 Live. I'm Krishna Kumar, and the big question we're asking here is, will there be a ceasefire in Gaza? We have Lev Aaron, columnist and journalist, joining us live from Israel. Lev, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on News 9 Live. What do you think at this stage are the chances? Antony Blinken says it's the last chance to end the war. Do you think the talks in Cairo now will finally yield that ceasefire?
Thank you for inviting me. The army establishment tells Netanyahu that we can go to a deal, that if we make a deal with Hamas, and if Hamas decides to open a new war or violates the agreement, the Israeli army is more than ready to re-enter Gaza. So in a way, on the military front, Netanyahu can sign a deal because chief of staff and all the generals tell him, you can go for it. On the other hand, also we have our desi domestic politics, and we have far-right politicians and parties in Netanyahu's government who tell him don't. And of course, we have the American angle. America has an election, and Blinken is not only a minister, he's also a politician. So I don't think we have witnessed until now such a huge pressure from America.
Huge pressure from America. Ambassador Suresh K. Goel, will the pressure work in getting a ceasefire at this stage? Because even now, Iran is talking about the ceasefire has got nothing to do with the retaliation meant for the assassination of Hamas chief. Sir, can you please unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, all right. Iran had given clear indication long time ago, even after attacks on the consulate in Syria, and then the various other provocations, the death of Hamas head in Tehran when he had gone to attend the funeral of the former leader. That given clear indication that they were not interested in escalating the situation, but they were more interested in seeing the success of the ceasefire talks. And therefore, I think we can put to rest what Iran actually situation would be. Iran is not going to intervene in the situation. The point really here is, what are we discussing about? What are we talking about the ceasefire? The ceasefire is focusing primarily on the release of the hostages. It will happen, but will it actually guarantee that there will be no further violence? Will it guarantee there will be no further conflict? That's a bit doubtful, because Israel still would not have achieved the aim of end of Hamas. Please do recall that when 7 October happened, Israel had said that their one objective in the war is end of Hamas. So will the actual ceasefire end conflict? I doubt it very much. And I think that's all really what I would say for the time being. Ceasefire will not achieve either the resolution of the Palestinian problem or the end of conflict. And I don't think it will achieve the end of violence in the region.
Okay. But Major General Ashwini Sivach, you at this stage, more than 40,000 fatalities in Gaza. It has to stop at some stage, even if it is for a ceasefire.
Very correct, Krishna. There's no doubt about it. Now this is the most decisive time. The ceasefire must come. I think there are all indications that possibly the chances of having a ceasefire this time seemingly looks to be quite serious from all the sides. Whether it is from Israel's side, whether it is from Hamas, because they have lost 40,000 Palestinians. Also, Hamas' military capability has been neutralized to an extent of 70%. And US is very much interested that this ceasefire must become a reality, because the elections are in November. Joe Biden government is under pressure. I think the chances are very, very bright. And the way the Iran has responded, that though they have been claiming that their retaliation after killing of Hamas leader Ismail Hania had nothing to do with this, their retaliation response will be different. But certainly it looks like that the Iran is not interested in escalating the situation. Though they have no choice, they will do something which they have to show to their proxies that they mean business. But certainly they will like this deal to go through it, and they do not want that get into the trap which has been laid by Israel, that in case if Iran get into this war, Iran will be the biggest loser because it will not able to stand the might of Israel and US. So I feel the way the things are shaping up, the chances of having some sort of deal as on today and the hostages coming back from Hamas seemingly looks to be very bright because it's a last chance and US is making full effort, and that's why Antony Blinken has gone with lot of purpose this time, and this talk which is in Cairo I certainly feel has lot of chance of being success, and all the indications are there, including Iran is trying to cool down the situation. But certainly Iran will do something, will do something just to show to the world that it has not forgotten what they have promised. But certainly they will not like to escalate the situation because they stand to lose the maximum.
Okay, Lev,
Yeah.
Nobody wants an escalation, but it is at the danger of escalation, especially if the war spills over into clashes between Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah. Hamas, dealing with Hamas, and the fact that, Hamas and Israel don't see eye to eye on many things, including the release of hostages. You have the Hezbollah problem as well.
I think we need to ask ourselves why we have a conflict with Hezbollah when the war started with Hamas. And I think the main answer is that Iran hates to have its own wars. It is using its proxies, and usually you will not see a direct conflict between Iran and Israel. We saw it once, and I think the appetite of Iran to have a direct conflict with Israel is very small. We have this stereotype that Iran, they are like very sensitive to humiliation, and that they have to have their vendetta because they're like a Muslim nation and so on. I do not agree. I think Iran is as rational as all the other countries, and Iran, the big paradigm of Iran is fighting via its proxies, not to fight with Israel directly. And even if the foreign minister or anybody in Iran says, oh, let's wait for our revenge, I think if they decide to have it, that's what they decide, but it is not an emotional decision. It's a geostrategic decision of Iran like any other country. So if Hezbollah decides to start a war with Israel, it will not be because of Hamas. It will be because Iran prefers the proxies to shed their blood and not to shed Iranian blood.
All right, Lev, stay with us. We are taking another short break here on the show. Back with lots more on the other side. Keep it with News 9 Live.